Life on Earth can be strange. There are things like Komodo dragons, jellyfish, and even ants. But how are these three animals related? Well, they all share one common ancestor. On an alien world, something like this could also happen. But what would these forms be? Well, on Gibohagg, there are 5 superphyla. And in this video, we'll be covering what they look like and how they act. Side note, there are also sponges, but they're not that important, and also they won't change that much over the millions of years we will be covering. The main organism all these creatures diverge from may be similar to a hydra. The body will be split into a holdfast, body, and feeding tendrils. This thing will have a mobile infant phase, and the infants may try to eat the parent to gain nutrients. So the parent may have to develop strategies to not die. One of these may be a creature named the Furby Hare. These creatures may be bigger on average than their predecessors, but inside their shell, they would be like soft. These creatures would release male and female gametes. Other than that, this creature is not really important or that interesting. The next creature we'll be talking about is named the Donalor. It would exchange most of its feeding tendrils to form a ginormous, sort of like flat disc. This creature would be in similar size to the Furby Hare, but constantly stretching out this disc may not be that very energy efficient. This creature may actually use blood, in this case green. On other terms, these two creatures would be very closely related and similar to one another. The next creature we'll be talking about will be named the Lombuda. This creature will be bigger than both of the other ones. From a top-down view, this creature would look like a circle with 4 connected lines. The connective teeth on each of the lines would work similarly to the flaps on the other creature. And above these lines in the main body, there would be fat reserves. This creature's larval stage would also have the connecting tissue. However, unlike the other two, this creature would be hermaphroditic. The next creature we'll be talking about will be named the Charmon. Its body would be similar looking to a stingray's. On its body, the top 2 mouths would be shorter and smaller than the bottom 2. In the middle of both, there would be 2 sides with both having sensory hairs. It would eat food like plankton by stretching out these organs and collecting it onto its stomach. Because of how it works, this creature would be on the top of the food chain. Finally, the last animal will be named the Dumon. This creature would be very similar to the Charmon. Both will have some key differences, one of which would only having 2 mouths. But near each mouth, it would have loads and loads of sensory hairs to detect stuff around it way better. All animals in Gibohagg can be traced back to a single ancestor. They all feed by extending their stomachs, which are external, out into the open waters. They all eat plankton, and they all reproduce in a way which starts with male and female gametes meeting in a way that has multiple male gametes, and then when they meet, the female gametes form a protective shell, which the larva is born genderless until it reaches puberty. Next plants will be named the Nilua and the Oranua. Because of how similar they are in structure and lifestyle, that will be just combined them into one category. They would be comprised of lizard photosynthetic, aerobic, and anaerobic microbes. These plants would hang on rocks to capture sunlight, only coming off the rocks to reproduce. Here's what the chemical exchange looks like, but I'm not going to be saying all this. They would reproduce in a way that looks asexual, but is actually sexual. The microbes inside of them reproduce, which causes it to bud off. Last thing we'll be talking about is an animungi named Mutar. These animungi swim around as larvae until they're able to detect a dead organism. After detecting it, they will latch onto it and suck it up until they blow it up into a ginormous organism, which they will then spread their gametes into the ocean. These life forms will be microscopic compared to the other ones. Their life cycle is very similar to hermaphrodites. Come back next video to see what these life forms can adapt into.